time to re-up YouTube. Your boy Mustard is back with another video, and we're here to talk about the Knicks. Yes, the smelly, nasty New York Knicks. Knicks fans hate me, and hey, rightfully so. I would hate a guy who talks shit about my team as well. But I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all are trash, mediocre, and you're not going anywhere this season. Just face the reality. And one of the biggest reasons why y'all aren't going anywhere this season, aside from the fact that you traded draft picks including Jalen Duren to get Jalen Brunson in the offseason with over $100 million, hey, spend your money how you want to spend it. But one of the other reasons why is because RJ Barrett is not living up to your expectations. Y'all spent $120 million for him to be shooting tour dates, and in this video I'm gonna call him out for being one of the more disappointing draft picks that we have seen over the last 5 to 6 seasons. But before we go any further, you guys, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and press that bell for post notifications to stay up to date with the latest content on the Young Mustard channel. To fully understand why I am so passionate about this towards Knicks fans, it comes down to two things. For one, RJ Barrett was drafted with the 3rd overall pick, and two, Knicks fans piss me off. We'll get to the latter after I talk about the former. RJ was taken with the 3rd overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft. That was the draft that Zion was number 1 and John Morant was number 2. Many people really forget how good that draft class was. They had some really quality players taken in the 1st round, especially at the end with Keldon Johnson, Jordan Poole, and KPJ with the last 3 picks of the 1st round. That's crazy to me. But in the top 5, you have Zion and Ja obviously going 1 and 2, and RJ was 3rd. Think about this. That was kind of the consensus top 3. Everybody was like, oh, those 3 are head and shoulders above everybody else. Yeah, you had guys like DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, Cam Johnson, and some other guys taken in the top 10. But as far as the top of the top players in that draft class, Zion was 1, Ja was 2, and RJ was 3. It was penciled in damn near right before the draft. It's crazy how RJ was penciled in to be that 3rd overall pick, when in all reality, we all know the Knicks wanted Zion, which, why wouldn't you want him? He was the best player in that draft, at least at that time. But they had to settle with RJ because they couldn't land KD or Kyrie, so that whole little graphic of Zion, KD, Kyrie, yeah, that shit was dead immediately on draft night. But one thing the Knicks have struggled in throughout their tenure, at least in my entire lifetime, is to have a good quality point guard. They had Jeremy Lin for a while, Raymond Felton, but outside of those two, what's the rest of their history with point guards? Dennis Smith Jr., bust. They have Jalen Brunson now, who's playing okay. I'll give him his credit there. But before him, Jason Kidd at the end of his career. There really isn't that many good point guards that they have had in their franchise over the last 20 years or so. So that's why I was really high on Darius Garland going to the Knicks. He seemed like a perfect fit there, but obviously it just did not happen, and they took RJ with the 3rd overall pick instead. Now granted, I'm not going to kill the Knicks for not taking Darius Garland. Hell, he only played a couple games in college, so I can understand their hesitation towards him. But considering how Darius Garland's career has gone so far and RJ Barrett's career has gone so far, I would say that was kind of a mistake, I ain't gonna lie. And even if you're not going to kill the Knicks for not taking Darius Garland, which is fair, it still is crazy that Darius Garland is an all-star caliber point guard and the 2nd best player on a team that is top 3 in the Eastern Conference right now as we speak, and RJ Barrett is struggling to scratch the surface of even just being a quality starter on a team that is 500 in the East. There really is levels when it comes to players like that, and sure, you could blame the Knicks development staff, but if we're being honest, at the end of the day, RJ Barrett simply has not lived up to expectations coming into the league. RJ is simply not that guy, and I don't understand why Knicks fans continue to perpetuate this narrative that he's just in a bad situation when he's actually had some opportunities to play with some really talented players like this season. Say what you want about Jalen Brunson, but he is not trash. Julius Randle as well is not trash. I may shit on Julius Randle a lot and call him a fake and a fraud, but he's not a horrible player. He's just not a number 1 option, and you could argue he really isn't a number 2 option on a championship team, but he's not garbage, especially considering that he's playing with Jalen Brunson and the supposed star or future star that Knicks fans tell me is RJ Barrett. RJ this season is averaging 18 points a game along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists, shooting 40% from the field, 27% from 3 on nearly 6 attempts from behind the arc a game, and 77% at the free throw line, which accumulates to a true shooting percentage of 50%. 8%. That's nasty. I'm not even gonna lie, that's disgusting. And if you go game by game, it really is crazy the amount of tour dates that he is throwing up every single night. Let's look at it, shall we? He just faced OKC yesterday and he played pretty well. But if you literally look at the 5 games preceding that game, it's insane how garbage he was. Ironically, against OKC on the 13th, he had 4 points on 2 of 10 shooting from the field and 0 of 2 from 3. Yes, you heard me correctly, 2 of 10 shooting from the field. He also had 18 points against Utah the next game on 5 of 18 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3. Then the next game against Denver, 11 points on 4 of 18 shooting, 0 of 9 from 3. Yes, 0 of 9 from 3. You heard me correctly. Against the Warriors, he had 18 points on 6 of 19 shooting from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc. And against the Suns, he had 12 points on 3 of 11 shooting from the field. If you take that entire horrible, horrific, nasty, smelly stretch, he had averages of around 12 points a game, 3 assists and 3 rebounds on 26% shooting from the field and 8% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. This guy is going out there and finding ways to make playoff Russell Westbrook shooting splits look god tier. That's how bad he's been recently. And when I talk about RJ, I'm not trying to slander him to say he's a bad player, but I think that Knicks fans need to lower their expectations of who they believe RJ Barrett is. Apparently, RJ is going to be a perennial star player and a multiple-time All-Star. I just don't see it. He struggles with shot creation. When he gets to the rim, he shoots below 60% in the restricted area. So even though he can actually apply the rim pressure, he's not converting those shots in any major way. I don't understand how you can see those shooting nights and then come to the assumption that he's just in a bad situation. Just understand that RJ Barrett is not the shot creator you think he's going to be. He doesn't have crazy gravity like that. He isn't great as a playmaker. He's not dynamic as a passer or facilitator. And though he is actually a positive on defense, he's not great enough to where I can overlook some of these offensive flaws. RJ was the 3rd overall pick, and considering the expectations that Knicks fans and a lot of other scouts gave him coming into the league, I really want to ask you guys, do you consider RJ Barrett a bust? I'm not going to go that far as to label him a bust just yet, but I'm going to be honest. I look at RJ Barrett's potential as similar to a guy like Andrew Wiggins right now in Golden State. I don't think that RJ Barrett is ever going to be some crazy star level player, but I do believe he can be a 3rd or 4th option on a championship team, or hell, maybe even a 2nd option considering who that number 1 option is, because when you look at Andrew Wiggins, there are nights that he is the 2nd option, but considering that they have other guys that can touch the ball as well, like a Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole outside of Steph Curry, at times he can be that 3rd or 4th option to give them some level of offensive productivity outside of Steph Curry. And I think that if you put RJ Barrett in a similar situation, he can produce and be a productive player towards a championship. That's how I look at RJ. But to assume that this guy is going to be a star caliber player, a multiple-time All-Star, I think that dream should be dead in all Knicks fans that have common sense's brains. I'm sorry, it's just never going to happen. And for those wondering why I decided to even make this video, it actually goes back to our podcast when we were Hoop Concessions before we transferred to Off the Grid. If you guys remember, we made a segment talking about overrated players in the league, and Darius brought up RJ Barrett, and the reaction actually validated Darius's point more than ever, and right now he looks like a genius. People posted our clip on Twitter, and RJ Barrett even laughed at the post, and so many Knicks fans were calling us stupid. They came in a Twitter space and were on our asses talking about, oh, what have the Bulls done? What have the Knicks done? Y'all haven't done shit but pay Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson $300 million just so y'all can do what? Be mid? Be mediocre? Potentially miss the playoffs and miss out on more draft picks? Hell, y'all guys are missing out on Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson because, hey,
man, that Julius Randle, RJ, and Jalen Brunson trio, I really think they can do something in the first round when they get swept.
Y'all are missing out on Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson, who look like generational talents, just so you guys can be what? The 9th or 10th seed? maybe the 7th or 8th seed, and guess what? You're gonna get smacked back to New York when you get swept in the first round, if you even make it out of the play-in, which you probably won't. But that concludes this video, you guys. Make sure you follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. All of those links are down below in the description box. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. You guys stay safe and have a blessed day. Peace.